Hey, Ray Halbrook here with Coach Blaine Boss from the Perryville Pirates. How you doing, Coach?
Doing pretty well. Thank you for
Awesome,
having me.
awesome. We're just doing a little bit of a preview of the Perryville Pirates this year for the 2020 season. Before we start about the 2020 season, we're going to go back to 2019. Your record was 11-9-1. The Pirates lost 7 players to graduation out of 15. You guys averaged 5.5 points on offense and gave up 4 on defense. Coach Boss, before we get started with this preview here for the 2020, can you recap the 19 season for us?
It was one of the seasons we kind of started off slow, um, but then eventually we kind of found our way and got things going. I think we strung quite a few wins together at one point in the season. Definitely a great group of kids that we had last year. They were hard workers. They played together, and most of them were very good friends. So when you have a team like that, that's always fun to be a part of and fun to coach. Um, yeah, it was a little unfortunate how the season ended for us. We were hoping to compete for a district title and the conference title as well. The
Mm-hmm.
conference title we were defending champions the year before, so we were
Right.
hoping to maybe repeat there, but things just didn't go our way, and that's baseball. But overall, I thought we had a solid year, and we definitely lost some very good players, and it's going to be tough to replace some of those guys this year.
Yeah. You're entering your third season in the reins at Perryville. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've faced in working to restore a winning tradition there at Perryville?
I just think getting kids interested in baseball. I mean, it really seems like baseball is not one of the top priorities down here. It's
Yeah.
kind of unfortunately it's a soccer town, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against soccer. They've done a very good job and they've had a lot of success, but for baseball, it's just kind of second fiddle to a lot of things.
Right.
And honestly, it's kind of seemed like that ever since I used to play against Perryville. It just seemed like it was kind of a sport that kids do, to kind of have fun, and that was kind of it. Another thing that I wish we had more of is just our kids playing together and playing summer ball and things like that. But with me coaching and coaching football, it's just not realistic for me to do something with them in the summer for baseball. And for our Legion team, St. Vincent's head coach, he's been a part of the Legion program, but with the restrictions on in coaching your
Right.
kids and stuff,
Right. Mm-hmm.
there's it's tough to get a coach in there that can kind of build a program. Especially when Legion ball doesn't get paid. So,
Yeah.
but it's I think we got a good group of kids this year. We've had some good kids, and we just got to keep them out, keep them interested, and keep trying to get them better each and every year.
Understandable. Next question here is what do you feel it will take for the program to return to contend for a conference title?
I think at any level, it really starts with your pitching. You can't really teach great pitchers to do what they do. Sometimes you can give them some ideas and help them with a couple things, but great pitchers are going to be great pitchers, and they're gonna win some games for you, and at least keep you in most games. But besides that, when your pitching isn't as strong, kind of like will be this season with our pitching, you're going to have to really count on playing solid defense and keeping the mental mistakes and silly errors down to a minimum. And then obviously offensively, if you put the ball in play, get great at bats, I think you can give yourself a chance in that aspect as well. But you know, I really think it all hinges on pitching and that's kind of where it starts. But it's baseball; anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Anything can happen there. Name a few players returning this season, and how do you see them contributing to the program this season?
Um, what do we have? I think we have five seniors now. All five of them are going to have to be big contributors. They're going to have to play a lot. We only have 12 kids on the team, so we're very, very shallow. So hopefully we can stay healthy. Because if somebody goes down, that's when we're going to have to start pulling up some younger kids, which I don't want to do at this point. But
Right.
right now, Carter Dix, um, he's going to be kind of a middle of the order type hitter for us. He's going to be our catcher. He was kind of forced into the catching role with what we're left with here. So he probably would have been third base or second baseman for us, and he could play a little outfield as well. And he probably would have been one of our top pitchers too. I'm kind of going to have to limit his innings, with him being a catcher and doing all that throwing behind the plate. So I'm going to have to kind of use him more as a reliever coming out of the pen type role this year. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. Another guy we'll look to count on is our shortstop, Parker Miller. He played shortstop for us last year. He played second base. He can play anywhere in the infield. He's probably going to be one of our top two pitchers as well. I see him hitting at the top of the order somewhere too. So he's going to be a big piece for us. Brad Ernst is another guy. He's going to have to play all over the place. He played kind of sparingly last year. He played some outfield. He got some ABs and stuff throughout the year. But this year we're really going to need him to step up for us. And he's going to be playing a lot of outfield. He'll probably be playing some third base, some first base. So, and he's going to have to pitch. I'd imagine him being a reliever for us. And then Clayton Steffens, he's another guy that he was a starter last year. He played a lot of first base. I think he played in the outfield a couple times for us too. So, we'll see with him. I'm hoping we can kind of keep him in the outfield. My other first baseman, he's going to be out for a couple games, so Clayton's going to have to start there for the time being. But yeah, all those guys that I mentioned, they're a huge part of our team, and we would struggle without them.
I understand. It's always that renewing of the regime, so to speak, every season when you lose, especially with you guys losing 7 seniors last year, and then you got 5 to just basically step in their shoes and take over and be the leaders of the team.
Yeah.
Do you see a surprise player, maybe a freshman, sophomore, that could make an impact for you for the Perryville Pirates team?
Yeah, we do have 3 or 4 freshmen that I think at some point could make some noise for us. I think they're in the future. They're going to be really good players for us. But, at the same time, they're still only freshmen. They're 14,
Right.
14, 15 years old. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see how they do. But with our numbers, we might at some point have to use them in a game. So, they might kind of force my hand if somebody gets hurt or something happens. So we'll kind of have to play that by ear. But just looking at Davin Wheeler, he's our JV catcher, and like I said, we're very shallow catchers, so he'd probably be the first one that would get an opportunity just because of the depth issue there at catcher. Dane Lauk, he's another kid. He's one of our harder throwers in the program. And Ethan Blythe, he's also he's a 3-sport athlete. He plays football and basketball as well. He's a taller kid. He's going to play first base for us and be a pitcher as well. So, we definitely have some younger guys that I think will do very well for us in the future.
What are some of your goals for the season, and maybe a philosophy that you guys live by, and maybe something that you might be changing philosophy-wise?
I just want us to play sound fundamental baseball. Our goal is to play great defense and be great hitters. When I say great hitter, obviously 300 hitters a great hitter, but
Right.
I think it's a little more than that. I just think getting quality at bats, not giving at bats away, being prepared when you're at the plate, hunting fastballs when you're in a fastball count, and taking advantage, taking great cuts when you do get your pitch to hit. So just little things like that. That's what we're really going to have to do well. Our pitchers, we're not going to overpower anybody, but, I think our pitchers are good enough to compete.
Right.
That's our biggest thing. They may not have their best stuff day in, day out, but just go compete, keep us in the game, give us all you have, and that's really all I can ask of them. And to tack on to the competing part of it, I think that's our biggest mindset right now is we're going to try and compete with everybody on our schedule. And if you can do that in baseball, I think you got a chance to win
Exactly.
every game that's on the schedule. So that'll be a stretch for us, but hey, anything's possible.
Right. Right. Exactly. Good mindset there. Tell us who you believe might be one of your leaders, big leader this season that would all the players would be looking up to.
Kind of those seniors that I mentioned. I'm really counting on all those guys. Clayton Steffens and Carter Dix, especially. They played football for me. So did Brad Ernst. Yeah, all three of them. Um, they know how I am. They know what I expect of them. They know the younger kids are looking up to them, and I've talked with them about that, and they know what they have to do. So I think we're going to be able to count on them, and I think those kids will do a good job for us, being leaders like they're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Switching sides here a little bit and getting a little personal, but not too personal. We just wanted to catch up with you, get a little bit of background on Coach Boss here. What got you into coaching baseball?
Well, I played baseball ever since I was real young. I think I started around 6 years old or so. Played all the way through high school. Then after high school, was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to St. Charles Community College.
Great.
Competed there. Had a pretty good career there, and then moved on to. Fortunately, again, got another scholarship to a Division I program in Louisiana, Northwestern State University.
Great.
Pitched there a little bit. I didn't get, it was kind of disappointed. I came in there. I had labrum surgery. So, I had to battle that. And, after that, I just really didn't feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of unfortunate. I wish I was healthy for my last 2 years of college. I would have liked to have seen what I could have done. But, that's just how things happen. So,
Right.
When baseball's over, you always look at it like, hey, now that you can't play, you can still coach. So
True.
I think that's when I realized, hey, why not give coaching a shot? And I actually got started in football first. Then with football, I was doing track, and then finally had an opportunity when I was up at Windsor High School to coach baseball, and that's when I got my first taste of high school baseball, and have been coaching ever since.
Great. Great story. I didn't know you were out at Windsor. We cover Windsor from time to time also, and that's kind of a cool story there. Another personal question here: some things that you like to do outside of baseball when you've got leisure time, maybe some hobbies and interests. What do you like to do?
Um, Honestly, I'm the weight training instructor, so a lot of my days are spent working out.
Ah,
It's one of my favorite things to do. And then another, obviously, sports. I mean, sports have always been a big part of my life. Always watching sports on TV. Me and my wife played volleyball this Sunday. We filled in, so we play. We continue to play sports from time to time as well. But yeah, we're going to see what happens now. Everything getting canceled. It's
yeah.
going to be a boring spring. With no NCAA tournament, no
Yep.
baseball, no hockey. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to have to find some different hobbies.
Yeah.
So
We have to keep our fingers crossed that the schools are going to stay open, right?
I know. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Well, we hope to be able to cover you guys. We've got you on the docket for May 1st against St. Vincent, that 6 o'clock game out at Perryville Park. And we're excited to be able to bring that to you. Again, fingers crossed. But
Yeah.
thanks so much for catching up with us. And we appreciate you just giving us and filling us in on the time, what's going on down at Perryville High School with the Perryville baseball. And appreciate the time here.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the interview, and thanks for covering us. I really appreciate it.